Thank you, gentlemen. Good evening. It's the first time the chairman has introduced me playing with his dick. I'm sorry about that, madam. If you will persist in peeping out of Cloud 9 when I'm trying to conduct a talk, an enlightening talk on explosives, well, be it on your head. I was at a ladies' evening a few weeks ago and I pulled that out. And one of them went, ooh. I said, no, madam, it isn't one of those. Some cross-grained twit designed it for a youth of 19 to stick on the end of his weapon, well, on the end of his rifle, and approach a T-55 tank with all the guns blazing. Can you imagine it? This poor twat stood there with this on the end of his gun. And when he pulls the trigger, it goes floof. And it'll just about make the corner of this room. If you fire one at the tank too close, the fins come back and make chips of you. So you have no chance either way. You can bet the bugger that designed this never fired one in anger. You'd be better waiting for the tank to stop, tap on the lid, let him get out, then club the bastard to death. You'd stand about as much chance. So much for the rifle grenade. The other bit of ordnance I have in the bag is the 1.5-inch baton anti-riot or rubber bullet, currently used in Northern Ireland, and you'll notice it's got a bit of a flange on it as well. At 580 feet a second, if you're bending down picking up a piece of concrete, this can leave a nasty rubbery taste in your mouth. And a small tear will trickle down your left cheek. These are highly prized at the moment, picked up off the streets of Belfast and sold to Western Germany at 50 new pence a time. They insert a small battery and flog them back to us at 10 guineas a throw. No wonder the twats are revaluing. If you're lucky enough to get the cartridge case, you get the telescoping variety, which comes at 12 guineas. Now, the other bit of ordnance is the old-fashioned Mills grenade. Useful little bomb, that, altogether, especially when I'm at Rotary Club luncheons. They seem to get half pissed on the brown Windsor soup and start throwing the buns at me. And I noticed if I lob one of these buggers back, it seems to steady them up for 5 minutes. What a bloody mess for you. 18 months ago, that was a perfectly good functional .38 revolver. Then one of the chaps started reading leaflets put out by DuPont, Dynamite Nobel, ICI, CIL, and all the other people who make explosive and propellants. And reading down his little list, he read where bulleted rifle powder burnt slower than shotgun powder. Because the shotgun powder only shoving an ounce and eighth a shot up a smooth-bore barrel. Whereas bulleted rifle powder, the bullet's got to engage in the rifling. And if the powder burns as fast as shotgun powder, you get a quick pressure curve, a dangerous pressure curve, and the bullet hasn't come out. And instead of the bullet coming out the end of the rifle, the bolt comes back, goes in the side of your chops, and sticks out the back of your bloody neck. But being a clever little swine, he thought, I know what I'll do. My pistol has only got a short barrel, so I'll load my pistol cartridge with shotgun powder and the bullets will come out faster. They did, but they came out bloody sideways. Now he is left with one large domestic finger on his right hand. And even that is swollen. Like the bloke that got stung on the end of his old man with a big bumblebee. And he went to the doctor, he said, "Oh, doctor, can you remove the sting and leave the swelling?" Now, this is it. Is the ordinary 12-bore cartridge. That's an 8-bore cartridge, which is bigger, it's fatter, there's more shot in it, and there's more powder in it. And there's more of a thrutch when you pull the trigger. If you load up a double-barreled 8-bore with 2 of these and pull both triggers by mistake, they say it can interfere with your sex life. We had one young fella do it near us, and a small lump came up behind each ear. And it took physiotherapy at Crewe 6 months to massage his knackers back down again. We've got one silly old twat living near us, he's still using these. And reloads his own with a double dose of powder, he calls it. I said, "Well, how have you managed it, Samuel, all these years?" He's bloody 78 now. And he's been thrutching about with these bloody things for about 47 years. And his proud boast is the gunner's never broke his shoulder. I said, "Well, how have you managed it, Sam?" He said, "Well, I'll tell you, young fella." He said, "If I get a flight of geese come on my field, I load up Benjamin J. Pugh with 2 of these, but always wrap both arms round the gatepost for a loose car." Now, 47 years of that, he shook the bloody gatepost loose and all. The ordinary stick of gelignite, it looks a bit like mouse shit. It's going off a bit and all that. But to have a stick here, this is not wet or shit either. This is submarine blasting gelatin, reputed to be 3 times stronger than the gelignite. By that, it means it burns faster, so the gas is given off a lot quicker and a bigger volume. But to bring about this phenomena, we have to stuff the electric type or the plain azide type detonator in the base of it like so. The electrical impulse flies up the wire, ignites the fuse head. This goes off with a hot flash and a bang and ignites the explosive. Now, it isn't the sort of stuff you'd light the fire with. The sticks don't seem to catch. Probably finish with 2 up your left nostril and 1 up your arse. Because this starts burning at 9 miles a second, which is knocking on in any bugger's language. And the sticks don't seem to catch. Mind you, they have a bloody good fire next door. Now, there are other ways of doing it. I mean, detonating the explosive. And the other way is with the plain azide detonator and a bit of blue sump fuse. But before we can bring this into play, we need what is known in mid-Cheshire, in the money belt of the county, around Winslow, Tarpley, Chester, Cester or Diva. They call these as secateurs. Now, we call them dubbing shears in Sandbach. We don't speak French. So we snip the end off. I did hear tell of a famous horticulturalist. He'd got a kid about 8-year-old, and he bought the kid a pair of dubbing shears for his birthday, and he was going round the garden. He was pruning everything. Tops off the old roses and the poppies and the bloody lot. And he'd pruned everything prunable, and the old man happened to be lying in the garden in the deck chair with a bit of sun on his belly reading the news of the world. And the kid comes past him and snip, straight off with the end of his old man. He didn't feel it for a minute because they're rather bloody sharp, you know. And his mother ran out the house saying, "Look what you've done to your father." She said, "You've ruined him. You've ruined him." He said, "It's all right, Mum, it'll grow again. I've left the bulbs in."